All right, so let's learn our first chord now. Now the first chord that we're going to be learning is called the E major chord, and I will put it right here so that you can see exactly what fret I'm on, which finger is on which fret, and on which string. Okay, so again, this is my first finger, my second finger, and my third finger. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off by taking our first finger and putting it on the third string, first fret. Okay, so before we finish building the E major chord, I just want to tell you how to fret the frets properly first. So you never want to have your finger all the way in the back of the fret like that. You always want to have it either in the middle, at least in the middle, or as close to the fret as possible. And the reason for that is that you won't need as much pressure to get the note out of the guitar as if you would need if you were back here. You can see I'm not getting a clear sound. Okay, the further forward I go, the clearer the sound becomes. Okay? Another thing that I want you to kind of play with a little bit is using your finger and first of all not applying pressure, and then slowly start to apply some pressure until the note starts to ring. And that way you're training your fingers to know how much pressure they need to get the note out of the instrument. Okay? A lot of beginner guitarists will clamp down as if their life was depending on it, and they're simply using much more strength than they actually need to get the note. Okay, so what I want you to do is kind of just play with it a little bit and see where that sweet spot is. Okay, all right, so let's continue building our E major chord now. So we already put our first finger on the first fret, third string. Now we're going to take our second finger, our middle finger, and put it on the fifth string, second fret. Okay? And then we're going to take our last finger, which is our ring finger, and put it on the second fret, fourth string. Again, I'm counting from the bottom up. Okay, we learned this, remember that. And in this case, we are going to be playing all 6 strings. Okay? With our next chord, which is going to be the A major, we're only going to be playing 5 strings, and I'm going to explain to you how you're going to know how many strings to play. Okay, so let's just focus on E major now, and then I'll show you that on the A major. So you can see I'm playing all 6 strings, and I'm holding down all of the notes. So a couple things are going to happen when you try to do this at home, okay? The first thing is that you might be getting this kind of a sound, kind of a buzzy sound, and that means that you're not applying enough pressure. Okay, so we talked about this. You're going to have to apply a little bit more pressure to turn this sound into this sound. Okay? The other thing that's surely going to happen to you as a total beginner is that as you play these notes, the skin from this finger, so let's say I'm trying to get this note, the skin from this finger will most of the time automatically touch this string, and that's going to mute it out. Okay? So our big challenge now is to really use our fingertips. So you don't want to hold the strings like this. You want to really use the tips of your fingers and really try to keep them straight, okay? So that you avoid touching the string under your finger, okay? So with the E major chord, the major dangers are that either with your first finger, you're going to be touching the second string, or with your ring finger, you're going to be touching the third string, okay? So that means you're going to hit a chord and the notes just aren't going to ring, okay? So this is what I want you to do. Take your thumb and just gently play each note as a single note. okay? Nice and slowly, nice and gently. And that way you're gonna be able to identify exactly which notes aren't ringing and which fingers are kind of the problematic fingers, okay? So play the notes as a single note, nice and slowly. And one more really important thing here is that I don't want you to get frustrated or stressed out when these problems that I describe start to happen to you, because these are typical beginner problems that every beginner goes through without exception, okay? So don't beat yourself up if the notes aren't all ringing perfectly or if it's just not working perfectly. It's a process that lasts a couple of months at the beginning until everything really starts to roll nicely and flow nicely. So don't beat yourself up. One more really important tip would be to, if you can, practice daily, even if it's for 10 minutes. So if it's 10, 20 minutes, that's great. Anything that's over that is even better, okay? So if you can practice daily, and what that's going to do is just train your muscle memory, and your fingers will really start to remember the form that they need to take to be able to grab and play these chords with ease, okay? All right, so that's our first chord, the E major chord. And once you've done the tests and strummed them one by one, then you can start. And what I'm doing, I'm using my thumb. I'm just gently stroking the strings with my thumb. Now, I know what you're probably asking. You're probably thinking, well, when do I start using a pick? Or how do I strum the strings properly? Because I always get that question. Don't worry about that for now. All we're focusing on now is just getting clean notes and using the skin on our fingers, on our right hand, to kind of really feel what's happening and feel which notes are ringing and which aren't, okay? Okay. So in the next lesson, I'm gonna be showing you 2 more chords, and then we're gonna start to kind of do our first little chord exercises, all right? And that's gonna really get you playing very quickly, all right? Okay, I'll see you in the next lesson. Play with the E major chord, you know, and just experiment with getting nice and clear notes out of your guitar. All right, I'll see you in the next lesson. See you there. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Bye.